Have you ever spent time cooking a curry, tasted it, and thought, why is this so watery? You don't want to add cream, you don't want extra calories, and you definitely don't want to ruin the flavor. Stay with me because there's a simple reason this keeps happening and a few smart fixes most people never think about. Curry is one of those comfort foods that feels rich, cozy, and satisfying when it's done right. The problem is, many home cooks end up with a curry that looks more like soup than a thick, flavorful dish. And the usual advice you hear is to add cream, butter, or coconut milk, which isn't always what you want. In this video, we're talking about how to thicken curry without adding cream. These are simple, everyday tricks using ingredients you probably already have in your kitchen. No fancy techniques, no confusing steps, and no changes that mess with the taste you love. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to fix a thin curry, how to prevent it from happening in the first place, and how different ingredients affect thickness. Whether you're cooking Indian curry, Thai curry, or a quick weeknight version, these tips work across the board. Let's start with the most common reason curry turns out thin: too much water at the beginning. It's easy to pour in extra water or broth because the curry looks thick early on, but once things start cooking, vegetables release water and thin everything out. One simple fix is patience. Letting curry simmer uncovered for a little longer allows excess water to evaporate naturally. This concentrates the flavors and thickens the sauce at the same time, without adding anything extra. Another overlooked trick is using onions properly. Onions aren't just for flavor, they're natural thickeners when cooked right. Finely chopped or grated onions break down as they cook, creating a thick base that gives curry body. If you rush the onions and stop cooking them too early, you miss out on that natural thickness. Taking an extra 5 to 10 minutes to fully soften and lightly brown onions can completely change the texture of your curry. Next up is tomatoes. Tomatoes add flavor, color, and acidity, but they also help with thickness when used correctly. Crushed tomatoes or tomato paste work much better than large chunks of fresh tomato if thickness is your goal. Tomato paste especially is a powerhouse. A small spoonful cooked into the onions and spices can thicken the entire curry while deepening the flavor. The key is to cook it briefly before adding liquids, so it loses that raw taste. Let's talk about ground nuts and seeds. This is one of the oldest curry thickening tricks used in many traditional recipes. Cashews, almonds, peanuts, and even sesame seeds can be blended with water into a smooth paste and stirred into the curry. This method adds creaminess without dairy and makes the curry feel rich and satisfying. Cashews are especially popular because they blend smoothly and have a mild flavor that doesn't overpower the dish. Another easy option is lentils. Red lentils in particular break down quickly and thicken curry naturally. Even adding a small handful can transform a thin sauce into something hearty and filling. As lentils cook, they release starch, which thickens the curry without needing cream or flour. This works great for vegetable curries and adds extra protein at the same time. Speaking of starch, potatoes are another classic thickener. Potatoes release starch as they cook too, especially when cut small or slightly mashed in the pot. You don't need a lot, just one small potato can make a big difference. If you don't want chunks of potato in your curry, you can mash a few pieces against the side of the pan and stir them back in. This thickens the sauce while keeping the texture smooth. Now let's talk about flour alternatives. Instead of cream, many curries rely on chickpea flour, also called besan. A small amount mixed with water and added slowly can thicken curry beautifully. Chickpea flour adds body without heaviness and blends well with spices. It's commonly used in Indian cooking and works especially well for vegetable-based curries. Cornstarch is another option, but it should be used carefully. A little goes a long way, and it should always be mixed with cold water before adding it to hot curry. This prevents lumps and gives you better control over thickness. Rice is a sneaky but effective thickener too. Some people add a spoonful of cooked rice and blend the curry slightly, while others add rice flour. Both methods add thickness without changing the flavor much. If you're making a blended curry, like a smooth tomato or spinach curry, blending part of the sauce itself can work wonders. Scooping out a portion, blending it, and stirring it back in naturally thickens everything. Now let's talk about spices. Certain spices don't just add flavor, they also help with texture. Ground coriander, cumin, and turmeric all contribute to a thicker mouthfeel when cooked properly in oil. Blooming spices and oil at the start helps them release their full potential. This creates a strong base that supports a thicker, more cohesive sauce later. Another common mistake is adding yogurt incorrectly. Yogurt can thicken curry, but only if added slowly and at a lower heat. If added too fast or too hot, it separates and thins the sauce instead. Using full-fat yogurt and stirring it in gently off the heat helps maintain thickness and creaminess without needing actual cream. Vegetables themselves can also help thicken curry. Vegetables like pumpkin, squash, carrots, and cauliflower soften and break down during cooking. When mashed slightly, they naturally thicken the sauce. This is a great way to boost nutrition while improving texture. It also makes the curry feel more filling without adding heavy ingredients. Let's not forget about time. Many curries taste and feel better after resting. As curry cools and reheats, the sauce naturally thickens as flavors settle and starches continue to work. This is why leftovers often taste better the next day. If your curry seems thin right after cooking, give it time before deciding it needs fixing. Here's the biggest secret most people don't realize. The key to thick curry without cream isn't one magic ingredient, it's layering thickness from the very beginning. When you cook onions thoroughly, bloom spices properly, use a thick base like tomato paste or blended nuts, and control liquid early, the curry thickens itself naturally. You're building structure step by step, instead of trying to fix it at the end. Once you understand this, you stop chasing thickness and start cooking smarter. Cream becomes optional, not necessary, and your curries taste deeper, richer, and more balanced. So now you know, thick curry doesn't come from cream alone. It comes from patience, smart ingredient choices, and simple techniques that work together. Whether it's onions, lentils, nuts, potatoes, or just giving your curry time, you have plenty of options. The next time your curry looks thin, don't panic and reach for cream. Try one of these methods and watch the sauce transform while the flavor stays bold and authentic. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe for more simple cooking and health tips, and share this with someone who loves curry as much as you do. Now tell me in the comments, which curry do you cook most often at home?